guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made, your way.
Yeah.
And a very pleasant good evening, and welcome to the Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton, Alberta. It's the Saville Grand Prix. You're watching Curling Stadium, part of the Stadium Sports Network. My name is Dave Schmel. I'm joined by Jim Nix. Connor Sims is on the production, and we have our matchup tonight between Kate Cameron and Gracelyn Richards. And Jimmer, happy to have you with me this weekend.
Thanks, Dave. Always pleased to be here. An interesting game here, Dave. It seems like most of these events, particularly in Western Canada, you have this situation quite frequently. We have a fairly young team that is either currently or just finished at schooling at University of Alberta, and a more veteran team who have been around for a little while, taking them on. You see a whole lot of those situations. We had that earlier today in our game, and we have that again today.
And it is Kate Cameron with the hammer here on the first end. They'll be throwing the red rocks. It is Gracelyn Richards with the yellow. And Mackenzie Elias has the stone on the way, and we have kicked off this action. And we're going to start with a draw right down to the top of the lid.
Yeah, it's interesting. We were commenting last weekend, and again the game I did earlier today, where we don't see this strategy quite as much in the game these days, even on the ladies' side, where they'll throw one in, they'll go ahead and hit probably for most of this end, but haven't seen a lot of that lately. Most of the time they're throwing up the guard and they're getting at it early, so a little different.
Here's Rachel Jakes, the sister of our colleague Ryan.
Yeah, I saw Ryan's name, I think, somewhere today. I don't know where he's playing at. Maybe he's here, but he's definitely playing this weekend somewhere.
Well, if he's playing here, he's made a radical,
no
a radical life choice.
Yeah,
which would be fine, and if that's a choice he made, we would fully support him.
Yeah, I forgot. There's no men's side on this one, yeah. Must be an Okotoks, if I said that right.
Better you than me. At least you have your Canadian card to fall back on.
Yeah.
The True North, strong and free, with a tremendous number of very interesting names of towns.
Yeah.
Going back oftentimes to the First Nation heritage. So here's our first look at Taylor McDonald. Wearing that very familiar big A, just like you said.
Yeah, I think you flipped the seconds around there, Dave. That's Taylor.
Oh, Sophia Rorchuk. My apologies.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to be right eventually. Here's our first look at Taylor McDonald.
Yeah, these late draws start usually down where I am. These late draws tend to start at 11, 11:30, quarter, 12 at night. So I'm a little more awake at 10 o'clock my time. So otherwise you might have blew it right by me.
Oh, I know you're never going to let me not pay for a mistake.
Pretty wide open affair here, and in number one.
Yeah, absolutely. So you look at the Richards team, they're 0-1 right now, so they really need this game. They lost to Sturmey in their first game. The Cameron squad is 1-0.
Both these teams coming off not a great weekend last weekend here also at Saville. Richards, I believe she did qualify, but she was only 2-2 in the round robin, and Kate was 1-3 in the round robin. So looking to be a little better this weekend, both of them, I would think.
Yeah, a little bit of tough sledding for Team Cameron for sure. Saw bits and pieces of some of their games.
Yeah, pretty solid team that they have there this year. So it's I'd expect them to be.
Yeah, it's early.
Yeah. And they're out of St. Adolphe or something in Manitoba. I don't know where that is, but I don't remember seeing that name before. So.
Yeah, I'd just go with Adolphe for that. I don't know if you had to pronounce the E, but
yeah, okay.
Maybe Manitoban can help us out with that. Throw that in the chat. I'll text my resident Manitoban. As we go up and down, big weekend of action. We have 8 sheets going right now across the 10 sheets that is the Saville Community Sports Center. We will be giving you updates on all the different games, and you can catch all those feeds right there on the Curling Zone YouTube channel. Please feel free to interact with us in the chat. Now, you do have to subscribe to be a part of the chat. We'd love to have you there. And if you subscribe, you can stay up to date on all of your teams and catch us all season long. We are looking very, very forward to providing you all the action.
So they're going to hang on.
So I'm being told that St. Adolphe is just south of Winnipeg.
Okay. So just be not quite as cold. Close, but not quite.
This takeout's a little bit further outside. A little surprised you're taking this turn, Jim.
Yeah, but not too many teams do this. You know, the one player and one competitive player that skip level that does play a lot more inside out than anybody else really was Jennifer Jones. She played the game inside out more so than almost anybody else, but a little bit of a surprise, I agree. Easier to hang around. Both teams padding their statistics a little bit here in the first end. Their percentages. Pretty simple game so far.
Well, no time clocks here, so they're not banking any time.
No. Good throw.
And Team Richards is Team Kleider and Team Moybrook really making their presence known, at least on the men's side, and of course teams on the women's side as well. And you get the feeling there's just a bit of a generational shift that's really ready to happen soon.
Yeah.
So the question is, who is going to be the next ones?
Yeah, I think there's, there's probably, we'd have to have a list or something in front of us, but you're right. I think there's probably 3 or 4 on both sides that you would say are going to be very, very close. Moeybrook, obviously. on the men's side. Jordan McDonald on the men's side.
Oh, McDonald for sure.
Yeah. So there's a number of them. Even from down our way, the young McIsaac team is U25 this year, but they still have a couple of their guys that are eligible for juniors, so they're really solid. It's going to take them a little while playing in some of these events to get there, but they're not far off either. They are good enough to win our province right now, and we've got a couple pretty good teams down on the East Coast. So, yeah, there's a lot of good teams.
You know what? It's good for the sport, and I'm sure the folks that they're going to supplant feel a little bit of a way, but they should feel that they're the game's in good hands with these new teams.
Yeah. Gracelyn Richards with a chance to just kind of get not that I know they had practice, so they had lots of opportunity, but another little crack at find and draw weight here early in the game. Throwing one to the middle. That does have a slight option of going towards the wings out there in front of the red one. Maybe make the blank just a little bit tougher for Kate, but she doesn't figure that's a realistic opportunity to do much, so she's going to come to the button. Does make the blank. Got to roll 6 feet to get it out, so.
And, they're never really a sure thing, especially early in the season.
No.
So, Richards. Roachuk and Jakes on the broom.
Yeah, going pretty hard on this, actually.
Looks like they have a pretty good feel for it.
Yep.
Top 4.
Yeah, nicely swept too. The inside sweeper stayed on it pretty much all the way down. And the cheerleader sweeper just kind of encouraged her along.
It's my favorite kind of sweeping.
Yeah, me too.
So here comes Kate Cameron. Looking for the blank here.
Yeah, and Kate can throw the high hard one pretty good too, so she'll throw a little extra oomph on this, so that she rolls out. It's a big shot. It seems like such a simple shot, but you play basically the whole end to be in this position, so you don't want to do anything like stay on this last shot for sure. So
she spent obviously a very long time as a third before skipping a team herself. Final stone of the first. They picked this one up right out of her hand, trying to get the blank. Get the hit, not gonna get the blank. It'll be a single point for Kate Cameron. Richards will have the hammer in 2 when we come back.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution. Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses? Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Welcome back here to the Saville Community Sports Center. It's a Saville Grand Prix. Happy to have you with us this evening. From wherever you are, welcome to Curling Stadium. Cameron with the missed blank attempt, end up with a single point, and now it's Gracelyn Richards with the hammer here in end number 2. They're throwing the yellow rocks. I'm Dave Schmel. He's Jim Nix. Connor Sims is on the ones and twos. And thank you for being with us.
Yeah, Dave, we talked a little bit at the break there about the last shot for Kate Cameron. And, like we said before we went to break it, play the whole end for the blank there and then just come up and nose hit that, or more or less nose hit it. It's definitely a miss. Definitely not something you're going to get a lot of points in the old percentage scoring system. And more importantly, just a real missed opportunity to kind of retain Hammer going in number 2 here. It's on a very simple shot for what should have been a simple shot for her. So, but she is ahead. That means the other team has to get 2 to beat you. So.
And back in 1917, that might have been the final score.
Might have. I played some 2-1 games. Never played a 1-0. So I played some 2-1 games in my younger days for sure. And it was not 1917, but it was in the late 60s or early 70s or something like that. Probably early 70s, I guess.
So we have split centers here.
Yeah, interesting position for those Red Rocks for
this is not a setup that we see very often anymore, especially now the no tick rule has become in. People like to live and die by that center line.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. This is going to be a little bit of, for lack of a better word, throwback end. The benefit of this for Team Cameron, I would think, was, you have both of those stones tight and in a control position where any stone that Richard brings into the 4-foot area is certainly vulnerable.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say, we don't hear that term as much anymore, but the control zone is exactly where those red ones are, and they call it that for a reason, and they certainly are in that region. So she has the control zone controlled, for that matter. And Richards gets that same opportunity. Difference is, obviously, as you pointed out, she's going to be rolling behind the opposition stones, and a fairly short run back for the Cameron team if that's what we end up with. Taylor McDonald's a good player. She's been around for a little while too. She's not old by any stretch, but she's been on some really good teams and really throws a rock nicely too. I think she played third on this team last year, if I'm not mistaken. So. Brianne didn't join this team till March of last year, so the season pretty near over when she came on board.
Looks like it's just hanging just a touch there. They're rolling all the way open.
Yeah, not a terrible roll by any means via Richards with hammer. Get it out there where Kate has to do something with it.
Yeah, second game today I've seen here on this sheet 3. And just seems to be maybe just a hair straighter coming home that way.
Yeah.
But that's such a huge part of the game. I mean, ice makers, and I'm part of a volunteer ice crew myself, and we do everything we can to make it as consistent as possible, but it's never going to be the same. It's part of the game.
Yeah.
And the ice conditions have been really great. They've been rewarding great deliveries and punishing poor ones.
Yeah, really, really impressive ice service here. We've been here for 2 weeks in a row now, and both weeks it's been really amazing. And I agree, the ice seems just a touch straighter here. I don't know if not sure yet if it is or if they're just throwing it a little bit harder on some of those shots, but certainly doesn't have quite as much crow. But by quite as much, we're still talking about having 4 feet of ice at least on draws. So it's by no means straight.
Now this one is way inside, just as we said that. And it's going to fly on out through the back.
Yeah. Yeah, it can only go straight if you get it out there to where it's supposed to be. She was probably had to be a little bit tight on that, I think so. Good opportunity for Kate now. Kind of maybe make up a little bit of that loss of only getting one the last end. She's coming around here, but if she is, it's an indication of what you just referred to, Dave, where that's not a lot of ice compared to what we've been seeing for draws to that area. You know, normally they're out in the middle of the 12-foot for the shot. Assuming she's not bumping. I don't think she's bumping, but she might be.
Chief ice maker at the Saville Community Sports Center. New this year is Cody Hall coming over from BC.
Oh, okay. This one looks a little warm. Yeah, not a good throw for Brienne. There's a good opportunity there.
So now opportunity knocking again, but once again, it's you never feel comfortable with the underneath your opponent's stones like this.
No. Gracelyn's taken a little tiny bit more ice than what Kate had, but that's understandable because she's coming around the opposition stone, so a little bit more fear of doing anything on that front one.
This one does need to come around, and it also needs some gas.
Yeah, I think the line's going to be pretty good if she can get far enough.
Squeeze past the guard just by a whisker and come all the way down to the top 8. Well-manned shot, but here you see that short run.
Yeah, for sure. It really was at 2.5, 3 feet, so it shouldn't be much of a problem making contact, but we did get to see the way the ice will curl, though, if you get the right combination of ice and weight there. So.
Trying to walk this one over just a hair. Should make contact. Oh! Okay, well, I didn't make a liar out of me. It made contact.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, we'll just have another look at that. I would have thought that she would have too much trouble with this. Looks a little bit like she just maybe set it out a hair on the release there because she was on the center line or close and released it out to the broom, which ended up resulting in it running a little straighter and, as Dave said, making contact, just not a whole lot of it. This end certainly bouncing back and forth as far as potential advantage for these teams. This one is obviously not heavy. Sweeper's going pretty hard on it. Trying to get it to move a little bit too.
We'll see if they can walk it over.
I think players today are, with so many of even curling club ice conditions being so much better than they used to be, and lots of curl, and it just seems like everybody kind of throws it out to the broom a little bit. Everybody kind of inside outs everything, and obviously not everybody, but a lot of people do. And if you have, like that one, if you have to go hard on it, then it just doesn't get a chance to move the way you think it would move because it runs so straight for the first probably third of the sheet, half of the sheet.
So really interesting spot here for Kate Cameron. So you see a bit of that yellow rock. You could chase it for sure.
Yeah.
Is there ever a world where you get, I don't know, maybe a little aggressive? Because there's not really a yellow stone that goes square into the 4 foot. Maybe a draw or raise of some sort. I mean,
yeah, I'm not exactly sure what she's playing either, Dave. I don't see the
I think she's throwing a missile to pick it.
To pick the yellow? Wow. Okay. I would think something like I would just probably play some kind of bumper weight on that red, and like not bumper board weight, but just tap it up a little bit. Maybe tap it, angle it into the 4-foot somewhere there. I know you don't have hammer, but it would open up the yellow one at the back. And this is, if she's trying what you're suggesting, that's really hard. And if she's playing the run back on the red, that's really hard as well. So,
well, I definitely think it's a play on the yellow of some sort, just asking for hair more ice. We'll see. Kate Cameron with her first here in the second. Well, it's not a bullet.
no.
They picked this one up right away. Oh, this is going to...
I feel like she was trying to run the red. It's not going to curl enough, I don't think.
It holds there. Now it takes the other turn when it taps up. Gets a little redirect, and they sit shot rock underneath opponent's cover.
Yeah, I think that was a great shot. You know, you shake them down. I think that's exactly what she was trying to do. I wondered at first I thought maybe she might be a little heavier than that, and they just didn't let it curl quite enough, but it was perfect weight. So I think a great shot for Kate Cameron there.
You see, and that's the thing about curling stones. When you raise a stone, the stone you raise takes the opposite handle. And in that little bit of 8 feet it had just enough to wick off the yellow to get that better roll.
Yeah. So straight run back here, I think, for Gracelyn. Pretty well has to be, I think.
Anything less would be uncivilized.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a great shot by Kate, but Richards has a chance to really put her under the gun here by making this one.
And then we throw another good rock back, and we possibly have a blank end.
Yeah.
This one is
really
over
close.
curling just a touch, but not bad at all.
Very nice.
So, gonna take another look at Jim.
Yeah, with a little bit of just firm weight here, and obviously if you can throw the up weight a little bit, at least you can hold it there dead straight. Sweepers held it there perfect. I thought it might curl a little too much on them right here, but they had it figured out pretty good, and just a beautiful shot by Caitlin Richards.
So, foreshadowing coming true here. We're going to now run the red in for the double.
Yeah, a series of Kate makes this. We got a pretty nice little series of shots there.
I know Connor and I had a game like this once last season where we just kept on saying, you know what? These guys are good.
Yeah. Big shot here, though, Dave.
Oh, you have to make this.
Kate throwing the weight that we thought she'd throw that first in.
Cameron with her last of the second. Not laying a broom to it. Looks pretty close. On the one. Push the double through. And get the roll under cover. Beautiful shot, Kate Cameron.
Yeah, it was impressive. Another look at it here. Really, obviously, right on line the whole way. Sweepers really did nothing but just clean up a little tiny bit of dirt on the way down. Nothing there. Throws it, lands it. Perfect angle. Perfect weight. Roll behind the guard. Can't be any better than that.
Are you surprised by this?
No, as opposed to I don't think she'd ever run the red. She could run her yellow in there, but I think I think
run the yellow for a blank. I don't think it's that tough, really.
Yeah, 7-8 feet. I don't know. I think I'm drawing here.
Okay. I mean, you can make a case for both of them all day and be correct most times. Final stone of the second. Needs the 4-foot. Facing one. Rochuk and Jakes trying to make sure the weight is right. This looks really, really close to that high guard. Got to get past that top guy. Passed it by a sliver. Does it have the juice? It does. A well-thrown shot, well-brushed, and we're all tied up after 2. Cameron will have the hammer when we return from Saville. You're watching Curling Stadium.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, Custom Chaos?
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made your way.
And welcome back to the Saville Community Sports Center. It's a Saville Grand Prix. So happy to have you here. We're all tied up. Kate Cameron now has the hammer in the third end, throwing the Red Rocks. And Jim Nix, that was a very interesting end with a guard set up for Team Cameron without hammer, which frankly we don't see often anymore.
No, not at all. You know, it was. I just thought it was a really great end. Like we had 4 or 5 shots in a row at the tail end of that end that were all game changers almost. Kate Cameron has to make an angle raised double takeout where she drops a 3-ender and she made it. Then Gracelyn has to draw the 4-foot. She makes it. It was just a really well played end and well managed the last half of that end for sure. So yeah, that was a good one. I really enjoyed that end.
So coming back here, it is Richards with the tight guard. Cameron's first stone slips into the rings. And we went from being potentially full of offense to a little bit more conservative.
Yeah, that's those little errors that are big with this level of curling. You know, you're trying to throw a corner or something like that and you slide it into the rings. It just totally changes the complexion of the end and where it goes. So yeah, see what happens here. Still going to be a couple yellow ones around, and Kate Cameron with hammer now. She may opt to just leave those. Well, she doesn't have much of a choice right now, so going right around.
Yeah, we sometimes, it's very important to realize how important the front end is, and I know one of our big coaches here in the U.S. and at our club, Wayne Anderson, he always takes stock after second stones and says, what team's a +1 here right now? And he's found that after second rocks, he can pretty much almost with about 80-degree certainty tell you who's going to score.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we have a violation of the no-tick rule here.
Oh, that's my colleague Sean's favorite rule.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting because it really was a gentle one. It barely moved it too far, but it did move it too far. So the shooter comes off. If you're wondering, the shooter comes off there, and the rock that was moved goes back onto the center line in the same position it was. So nice little break for the Richards team for sure. Gives them an opportunity now to come right around those guards, staggered guards in the front. Perfect setup if you're Team Yellow right now, that's for sure.
Right, and certainly it put Cameron on the defense. Probably see a high, hard one down the middle after this.
Yeah, I would think. know if this is getting by, Dave.
Ooh, this is light and narrow. It does find its way onto the rings. And you see Cameron immediately looking at the double, or possibly playing off the top one too. You might be able to get all three to go that way. But I think if you hit it this way, the top one stays, doesn't it, Jim?
I think the top one stays too. It might stay. You might be able to bounce it over a little bit towards the corner, but she needs to move some of these around. So none of them are great for Kate Cameron team right now. Kate's team is looking not to have those rocks there.
Pick this one up right away. Get the one to get the two. You got your double takeout. No problem there.
Yeah, and roll to the corner. So a nice result for sure for the Cameron squad.
Still with that tight center guard. Opportunity for Team Richards here. Taylor McDonald.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, for years, if I was playing this shot, I'd probably be going in turn around that just so I don't show a corner and leave a chance to hit roll behind the corner. But I think the way the ice conditions are now and how much it curls, it's not really the case. I mean, you probably could curl this too far. You could throw the in turn around there and go a little bit too far and have the shot, the hit and roll behind the corner available. So, yeah, it's just a different. The ice conditions are just so much different that you have to think about shots differently.
This one is going to clear the guard and settle just to the top of the 4 foot. And you talk about the ice conditions, you know, and Cody Hall and his crew working hard here at the Saville Center, as do ice techs across the world. So with the new season upon us, Jim, on behalf of every ice maker in the world, buy a new gripper, please and thank you.
Yeah, grippers can be a problem when they start to break down, and if you're playing a fair bit, you pretty much got to buy a new gripper every year. And nice looking shot here.
Well, the rule of thumb I was taught is for every night a week you curl, you should go through that many in a season.
Okay, yeah.
And if you refuse to do such a thing, do not ever complain about a pick.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they have some work to do here, too. They have 10 sheets here at the Saville Center, so it's, you know, when you're making ice here, it's not, you know, you don't get the luxury of just doing 3 or 4 sheets, and you're done. This one's out there a bit. Definitely kind of set this out.
One thing I talked about with our, let's see where this settles in, with our local purveyor of curling supplies is he would really like to see a new gripper built into every club's annual membership.
Okay, yeah.
And it's just issued.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, that's very interesting, actually. I don't know what would, I'm trying to think of my club, whether or not that would fly, but it's just something people have to adjust to. That's kind of interesting. I don't know.
What's the downside? I mean, it's really tough to figure one out.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I would just, I would probably not 100% agree that everybody has to have a new gripper for every night they curl. If you're playing, like in my position, skipping, I just don't think I'm going to wear out a gripper.
Yeah, but at least once a year.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Yeah.
If you can set a bare minimum to where we're helping the ice crew out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think anybody would argue that you need less than one gripper a year.
No. No. Brianne, slide to the back here. She's having a little trouble with the draw weight so far, but she's a little heavy the last end, a little heavy this end. Yeah, that'd be interesting, Dave. I don't know. That's something. It's like one of those things that would be, as soon as you did it once you did it for a year, you'd probably be okay. Everybody'd be like, well, okay, we're going to do this, so get used to it. And some of them would still yak about it, but it wouldn't matter because you're probably going to have to be, you're going to have to probably recoup a little bit of that with the dues anyway. So maybe you bite half the cost and add the half the cost to the membership or something. I don't know.
I mean, our curling supply purveyor has offered to provide them at cost if we did such a thing.
Yeah.
Look.
Nice shot there.
Oh, that's a very nice shot. So we're going to need some cleanup here. You could make them go away and still lie too if you throw this really perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just a little bit high side here and make the angle double takeout, and both your rocks are around in the house.
So Harris not laying a brush to this with good reason.
Yeah, Brienne having a bit of a struggle here. She's got a lot of half shots in the last couple ends, so, and a really good opportunity now for Gracelyn Richards to put the heat on Kate Cameron for sure.
So you just throwing a straight guard here, Jim?
I think so. Yeah, I think guard. You know, top of the 12 is okay. Anywhere just short of the 12 is okay. Right in front of that one on the biting the top of the 4-foot, I think that'd be perfect. Be interesting to see what Kate played after that.
I'd like
Come
to
a little
see.
deep, she probably hits it, but if you stay out there a little bit, she's probably going to draw around.
Yeah, I know with the type of weight she's capable of, I'd hate to give her any type of runway for that. I want to make it a little bit tougher. But we'll see.
Yep.
Gracelyn Richards. Edmonton, Alberta. U of A. Her first of the third.
Saw Gracelyn make a perfect draw last end to score a point, so she's probably going to be pretty close to exactly what she wants here. Saw her play a lot last year. Was very impressed with her as a skip. So.
Well, this is certainly high. They need that last scrub. Okay.
Not perfect. I think it's she would like got a little tiny bit more curl out of it, but I think Kate has to. I think she kind of has to ignore this coming around. She could go. She can play the hit on the intern, I suppose, and sit 2-3 or 1-3.
Yeah, where that guard ended up, it leaves you tempted to do a lot of different things.
Yeah, and the guard's out there quite a ways too. It doesn't really look like it on the long view, but when you look at the overhead, it's out there quite a ways. So you can certainly get enough of this rock to stay. And if you don't do anything else, and Gracelyn goes down, just hits and stays, and you've got a much easier shot for one. This one gives you a bit of an opportunity to maybe think about a 3-ender. Come around is a great shot. Come around top of the button, fully buried would be a great shot, except for the fact that it would be gettable with a little tap. And if you ever don't make it, then you are in a big pickle. So.
So here's Cameron. Oh, just gets around the guard, makes a hit, redirects off the back, lies shot stone. After all that.
I can have another look at this. This is really, really close to the guard. I'm just a bit surprised. We can't hear her, so just sneaks it by. We can't hear her, so we're not quite sure if there's some panic in the sweep calls or not there, but there would be if I was calling it. I'm thinking you don't need to be quite that close.
Oh, I was panicked sitting here.
Yeah.
So this is, as you so eloquently put it, gettable.
Yeah.
But how do you eject it? And how do you eject it and make it tough?
Well, I think you try to hit half to 2/3 of this rock, and you're just going to sit wide open on the left-hand side. I don't think you have a lot of other choice. It's too risky to do much else, and you're not going to really get much more than that out of it anyway. So I think you hit half a rock.
I mean,
Go ahead.
No, go. I was gonna say, imagine if I had to steal a point to save my life right now.
Yeah.
I would draw out, turn to the back four, maybe.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, same thing we just talked about. She just made that shot the last end, so that would definitely be a possibility and an option.
But way too early to play something that uber aggressive.
Well, I think so. I think you do run a bit of a risk of a deuce if you play that, and I mean everything's a risk if you miss. But if she makes it, she's not going to give up anything more than one. So on this really hard though.
Yeah, they picked this up right out of her hand. It is tight to the guard. Can they hold it past? Can they hold it past? Will they hold it past? No, they won't. That's going to be a free draw for 2 for Kate Cameron.
Yeah, and she'll be having a little look here to see if there's a way to get 3 here. It doesn't look like there is, I guess. I thought I didn't have a real great look at the back yellows to see whether or not you could.
Well, Connor's going to give us the overhead.
Yeah, it would be. You would have to be too close to your red, I think.
That would be, that'd be downright scary.
Yeah.
But hold on, is she considering it? I saw that broom.
Yeah. Well, to me, you look at it and you say, well, like the overhead makes it look really, really difficult. So that's, I think, what they're not playing it. The long view that we're looking at here, where we just see Brianne in the house, is it does look like you could combine your red one by an inch or inch and a half or so and hit the other one pretty full, bounce over and maybe score 3, but not worth it. If you ever ticked your own on the way by, you'd be giving up 2. So.
Well, this doesn't look like draw eyes, Jim, unless she's coming all the way around the open side, but we'll find out shortly.
Yeah, it's got to be a draw, I think, Dave. It's just drawn to the 4 foot on the opposite side of where Brianne is.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Final stone of the 3rd. 1 in her pocket, just needs the full 8 foot.
This looks a little tiny bit warm. Might want to touch your own here on the way by.
Oh, you never got it? Had to be on that early. It's going to slide on by. It'll only be a single point for Kate Cameron. She has a 2-1 lead. Richards has a hammer in 4 when we come back from Saville after this.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
And welcome back to the 4th end of play here. And unfortunate miss there for Kate Cameron there in the 3rd there, Jim.
Yeah, a shot that went wrong all the way around, in my opinion, Dave. I think she obviously threw it heavier than she needed to throw it. It was really just a straight draw. She didn't need to split her own or anything to score 2. So it was really just playing a draw to basically T-line and threw one that just slid through the house. So definitely heavy, but and again, this is probably early season and kind of a new team and everything else that goes with that. A shot that could have been saved with a little bit of communication. If everybody talks about that and they just make contact with half of that shot rock, I'm pretty near positive that both those rocks stay easily and she gets her 2. But because they did think about a tiny bit at the end there where they kind of got on it, but it was too late, and it was the sweepers let her know you got to have some contact or it's through the house, then you just play for the contact. It's not that difficult. And unfortunately, they just didn't do that. But again, cut a little slack because it is a new combination and it's early in the year, but they'll have to fix that up. They can't clean that up. You can't have that happen at this level. So
Yeah, and that's certainly chemistry that hopefully, well, if you're going to make it, has to come. Just call it what it is.
Yeah.
But I have every faith that they will. They're all good players. Just, had to get the flow for each other just a touch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and even for Brienne, she has been more of a front end player than a in-the-house player in the last couple of years. I know back in the day she was a skip and all that, but was playing basically front end for the last couple of years. And you're involved, but you're not the person in the house that's translating that information. So, it just takes a little while to figure it out. So we sound critical because it was a bad mistake, but at the same time, it's there might be reasons for that, and they'll get it sorted out. Skips have been very good for the last couple ends, but both of them threw not good shots with their last ones in this end. So neither one of them will be happy with their last throws for sure.
Absolutely. For as well as the second end was played, well, the third, let's just move past that.
Yeah. Crystal Mitchell, not a bad little setup here right now. There's a center guard, but she's got a couple in, and center guard's really long.
Yeah, with hammer and a very difficult stagger. So Cameron just going to play the open one here in the fourth end. This is Taylor McDonald. Any relation to Jake, Jim?
I have no idea.
Or maybe Connor can chime in if he knows that answer. Yeah.
He's not talking to us. He's just mad at us. We didn't agree on the last shot.
Oh, here we go. We have. Sorry, Jason McDonald, the McDonald that starts with a J. I'm sorry, I got the name wrong.
Jordan McDonald, yeah.
Jordan McDonald, that one. Yes. I just call him J-Mac.
J-Mac, yeah. That probably does. Some people call him that. Anyway, same answer, though. I have no idea.
Yeah. According to his teammates, he does. They do.
Yeah.
So, I know if my name was that, I wouldn't mind being called J Mac. Sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking to a guy whose last name is Schmell, and well, that's not always been fun through life. Kids are mean.
No. Yeah. I could see how that could be a problem.
Yep. What's that Schmell? Get the Schmell out of here.
Yeah.
Who the Schmell do you think you are?
So when somebody says you stink, is that a compliment or is that an insult?
Oh, boy.
Okay, back to the end. But you're still in pretty good shape here.
We're going to get this hit and roll open and out. Ooh, didn't want to do that.
No, want to stay there for sure. So, okay, going to go to a little more offense here. And trying to find the draw weight here. She's been close. She's just been a few feet off.
Yeah, she's had the mailing address for Drawaway, just not quite the exact postal code yet.
Yeah.
This one's probably going to reach the sender pretty well there, Jim.
Yeah. Yeah, it's much better effort.
There you go, Brienne. Just a whisker wide, but weight-wise, pretty good.
Yeah, it just releases overall here tonight. You're just not 100% on. There's a lot of rocks that they're just being popped out a little bit and not reacting the way they want, and then some of the other ones that are just kind of coming across on them and having a hard time getting by guards. But again, everybody will figure that out. It's just they haven't had a lot of time to practice. Even here in the Saville Center, they're not quite open all year, but they're open long, but they're not quite open all year. So
this one is way out. It's all the way in BC.
Yeah, that's not a good throw.
Did not make it back.
Cameron now in a great position with only 3 rocks each to come. Could come right around here. Some teams might come right around this, but they're going to have a little chat about it.
And we have our first mound visit. If you were with us last week, if you know, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that this morning.
So she kind of likes corner hooking that one in the 12-foot.
Yeah.
That's certainly not the worst. I mean, for myself, I don't mind coming around the other turn and coming in. And I think with the way the ice is finishing, if you throw a really good rock, they're going to bring the whole team down now. You could be basically on the center line, frozen to your own. Not a good angle to run the yellow in.
No, are you thinking about, when you say that, are you thinking about coming around in turn?
Yes, I am.
Oh, are you? Okay, yeah.
I think it's possible. I mean, I'm sure it's surely not easy. I think the out turn just carries a hair more of a downside if you were ever to miss it.
Yeah. It's a little more. Yeah, so you get a little more out of it on this side if you're, depending what you're going to play. You got to figure out the shot first. If you're going to play a straight guard, then I think obviously it's going to be out turn.
And timeout's been called.
So coach this year for this team is Derek Samagalski. Pretty familiar name. He's coaching the team Cameron this year. I didn't know if he was going to be here or not, but
I could think of worse people to have as a coach.
Yeah, certainly has huge amount of experience. No question about it.
Of course, I say that completely tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah. A lot of these teams, you'll see who they do go for coaches that they're more interested than, I feel anyway, more interested in the proper strategy at the proper times than they are, technical teaching ability, if you will, put it that way. So.
Well, I think the game has evolved to the point where most of these players are fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
In terms of like the blocking and tackling and their deliveries, they can almost figure that out themselves or amongst themselves.
Yeah.
But it's really the bringing off the bench. I love it. Sign me up.
So it looks like we're playing that sort of corner on the top yellow. Probably went a little too far. And to be honest, I think that she can come around on the out turn and still get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She may not be able to remove it. She thinks she might be able to, but got to be a little careful. You definitely don't want to slide by on this one.
No, I agree, and this is that exact same path that we think might be just a skosh straighter.
Yeah, she's definitely going with enough weight to move that right out of the rings, Dave. She only got what, a foot and a half of ice or less. I feel like she could get away with a couple more inches and make this shot. But after watching the last one, she might be a little nervous about that too. So you can see how she does. She does tend to slide center and slide and throw out to the broom. It's interesting. Looks pretty good though.
Looks pretty darn close past the guard without a problem.
It's going to be a great shot. Didn't quite get it far enough, but very, very nice shot just the same.
And to our friend in the chat, Steve, we have no time clocks. It's just the timeouts are limited. Now, last week, the teams were able to call 2 timeouts. Not 1,000% sure on the rule this week.
I'm not either. It's I don't know how much it even matters, to be honest, because last week when we did a couple of those games, teams
Don't bring that up.
No. I was just gonna say they would talk about it for 4 or 5 minutes and then call the timeout. So sometimes we'd be better off of them just having multiple timeouts and get at it right away. Just say, well, you can have 2 timeouts or 4 timeouts as long as you call them within 10 seconds after the rock stops or something. I don't know. It makes the process go faster, I think, sometimes. So.
You know, as much as I didn't want the pitch clock in Major League Baseball,
yeah,
I like it now.
Yeah, and I think you're not alone. I think a lot of people feel the same way. I didn't know how well it would work. I still don't quite understand exactly how it works and works so efficiently. So, I don't know what the sounds are when you get them. So that brings up something else I'll ask you about in a minute here. We discussed it in our morning game.
Oh, you discussed it with somebody else. You didn't talk about it with me.
No, I know you weren't there. That's why I'm going to talk to you about it.
All right, sounds fun. So that one is a little tap back. It is still Team Richards line 1. And well, before we talk about whatever is a pressing issue, which is burning at your soul.
Oh no, we can do it. We can do it at the start of the next stand, actually.
Yeah. This is more interesting right now.
Yeah, tough situation here for Gracelyn Richards. How do you get your second shot in here and at the same time not leave yourself vulnerable to Kate just moving that rock up 6 inches and not ever being able to get it out?
Do you try to throw back 8 maybe and just, because the guard is a long way out.
It is.
From the long shot, it looks like it's close, but it's not close.
Yeah. Well, we just saw her basically come around that guard and tap the rock to the back of the house. It didn't finish radically after it got by, but I think you can probably get there, Dave, to your point. I think you can do that. The other thing is, and she's looking at now, is do we go in turn right around to the top of the button, say, and be sitting 2? And that's good. It just scares me leaving that red one there. So she may decide to just guard this up, to be honest, and see if she can figure out how to get 2 on the next shot.
Do you ever play the in turn around the high one onto the yellow in the 12-foot into the red?
Yeah, interesting. I think it's one you talk about and say, well, that'd be kind of neat and good shot, but nobody ever plays. I just think it opens things up, maybe not quite the way you want. And if you don't make it perfect, I don't see that you're going to get what it's going to do for you. You're thinking about throwing enough weight to go yellow, red, and move the red? You must be.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe back 12-ish.
Yeah. Well, it'd be interesting. I don't know. I don't see anybody playing that shot, but I can't give you a real reason why, other than I just think you leave yourself too vulnerable unless you make it. And it's not an easy one to make. So this looks like a guard attempt of some sort.
Well, from where I live in the Northeast, we have lots of diners. And if you've ever been to a good New Jersey Greek diner, the menus are about 12 pages long. So I just want to make sure that you can read the whole menu.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's certainly a guard. That's way out there guard. I don't
know what they did for you.
I don't know really what it guarded. Yeah, it's kind of baffling to me. I don't see that it guarded anything.
And I love what Kate Cameron just referred to, but now they're going to the other side.
I don't see this shot either. I think the outturn little tiny tap on that red is set up almost as good as you could get, isn't it?
That seems like the shot all day. I mean,
yeah. I know this is obviously makeable as well. You can put this right on the button, and
take away the end.
But I just feel like the other side is that outturn tap to me is
just agree difficulty wise way easier.
Yeah, I think you've got lots of wiggle room with that shot for sure. So, no, this shot too. As long as you're not heavy on this shot, you're going to make it nearly impossible for Gracelyn to get her too. So,
well,
just don't be heavy.
Absolutely. Kate's going to make a liar out of both of us and just weld this on there.
Yep, she just might.
Her final of the fourth. McDonald and Elias. Just a skosh heavy, Jim.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, it's not where you want to be, and you actually helped out the other squad a little bit. I mean, it's backing, but it's barely backing because if she's very heavy at all, she'll go past it. But at the same time, you got to be, the right way to miss that shot is definitely short. Pro side, if they say, or however they want to phrase it, it always kind of baffled me a little bit because we try to teach people not to think of the negatives, and at the same time we're saying, where's your tolerances? Well, the tolerances are kind of like if you miss your shot.
You're preaching to the choir here, Reverend Nix.
Yeah.
I have members of my club that will give their front end 5 different options, like you say. So you're just telling me that you're gonna miss.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with one in her pocket, Gracelyn Richards, final stone of the fourth. Gonna try to thank Santa Claus here. Has to take advantage of this opportunity. Looks to be plenty of room past the guard. Walking over nicely.
Really nice throw.
And there no problem for her deuce. And she has a 3-2 lead after 4. We'll be back from Saville after this.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at GSOCtickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Fourth end break. It is Richards with the 3-2 lead over camera. Jim Nix, you got scores from across the barn.
Yeah, we do. All these scores are basically in or after 4 ends. So we've got Plett leading Halfley tied with Halfley 2-2. We've got Selena Sturmey up 5-0 on Steele. Hilker's up 3-2 on Wang. Reese Hansen is up 4-2 on McNamee. Park is ahead of Kitazawa 4-0. Skurlink and Miura, might not be saying that one right, 1-1. And Theveno's up on Hansen 4-2. That's all of them across the board.
As you all caught up, and we'll be back with you for the second half from Saville after this break.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Yeah.
And here we are back here. Fifth end. Kate Cameron with the hammer, trailing by 1 stone. Dave Schmel, Jim Nix, Connor Sims on the production. Happy to have you here from the Saville Community Sports Center. It's the Saville Grand Prix here on Curling Stadium. And we were talking some in the break about, and the chat's been talking about pitch clocks. And you talk about that timing, and you had a conversation with our colleague Rory earlier today.
Yeah, we were just discussing the communication options available. You think about sports now today, and you think about football, and quarterbacks and whatnot having headsets in their helmets to communicate with the coaches. You look at baseball now with the pitch clock, and you've got the pitcher, catcher, and 1 or 2 other players, or 2 or 3 other players that have that information transferred to them as for what the shot is, what the throw is going to be, what the pitch is going to be, all of that sort of thing. Do we, and if so, when do we expect to see similar type technologies perhaps in curling? Don't have an answer, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see that be a topic of conversation as we move forward in the next couple of years, to be honest.
And absolutely, I agree. I'm certainly not accusing this game of being played at a poor pace. I think it's perfectly comfortable and reasonable, but we've all seen games which just seem to drag on forever.
Yeah.
I mean, so you see Jerry Gertz, our executive producer, throwing in there saying that they've relaxed, the WCF has relaxed rules at the international level to allow teams to communicate with the coaches during the game.
Okay.
When it's a non-throwing team. So it's gonna be interesting. And we'd love to see your opinions, because let's be honest, Friday night in September, you guys are curling fans. If you hear my voice right this moment, you are decidedly a curling fan. So I'd love to hear your opinion, and so would we. And you know what? There's other folks who are watching this who every once in a while get to have a say about how these things go. So make your feelings known.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's a very worthy conversation. That's very interesting what Jerry's got posted here too. I didn't realize that was coming and that was going to be something that was going to be there, and it will certainly be interesting to see how that goes. It has to speed up some of the conversations that take place during a curling game for sure.
I see Steve Manfred says, I'd love to see the players given mics and earpieces so they can all talk throughout without shouting, as long as the broadcasters can still eavesdrop. See that, Steve? I will say that being on this end, that's dangerous because we hear them even when you go to break, and sometimes you don't want us to know what they said.
Yeah.
If I repeated some of those things that happened during the breaks, that would be, well, interesting.
Yeah, it is nice to be able to have and hear that communication though in events that are mic'd and where the players are mic'd and stuff, and that's a lot. I'm sure that's a big investment and difficult to pull off it in our broadcast, but it is a nice feature when events have that. We're able to hear that. So
yeah, you see Megan Edwards chiming in there, our number one super fan of Curling Zone. Said she watched an event years ago where they muted the team discussion. I know I was working with our colleagues in Europe at the World Juniors, and well, my biggest job while I was running audio was to make sure I prevented language that was not safe for family television from getting on the air.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of the concern for sure, or one of the concerns, I guess. So Richards at last end did pick up a 2. We were just kind of chatted our way through the first 5-6 shots here, but not very much happening anyway. Picked up a 2 that was, she had to make a nice shot to get it, but a shot she probably never should have had a chance to make. So a little slight error on the Cameron team, and Richards takes advantage and gets her 2, takes a 3-2 lead here after 4. Kind of a interesting end.
Yeah, and I'm definitely enjoying watching the conversation going back and forth. I'm not going to bring it all up over the air, but it's a conversation worth having, and I think our sport's going to benefit from it. And you know what? Since this looks like we might be on the express change to Blanksville.
Yeah, it's you're right. We are, and it's Cameron has to put the last time she played an end like this, put that one out of her mind. Didn't work out quite so well.
Oh well, yeah, we did a great job of putting the announcer's curse on that one.
Yeah, we seem to be quite good at that. Actually, it's
well, you're good at that. I'm good at bringing the extra end on.
Well, we just talked our way out of a possible more blank to a very good chance at 2 now for Cameron. So.
Yep. See, there we go again.
That was not a good throw either. That was barely enough rock for that shooter to go out of play. I mean, I didn't see the whole shot, but she didn't have very much weight on that. She could throw that a lot firmer than that.
No, that looked like a 12-5, maybe at best.
Yeah.
And when we give these split times to any of our more casual viewers, that's the time between the hog lines, those horizontal lines in the ice. And this one must have been burned or picked badly. See them doing some housekeeping, and, well, we might be right back on that train. And taking a look. Oh, yeah, that clearly picked.
So a chance to redeem herself a little bit. Third stone for Gracelyn Richards.
I'd expect this one to have just a little bit more weight.
Yeah.
There you go. In fact, they're even saying it's a little bit hotter than it was called for. But after it going the one way, that's always the way you're going to make the error.
Yeah.
No mistake about that one.
No, much more solid for sure.
So here's Harris as we go up and down. Ultimately, curling, like every sport, has things that you want to get better, make it a better fan experience. Because, frankly, that's what pays the bills. Call it what it is.
Yeah.
And it keeps the interest of even players. I know at my club, if a game starts dragging on, people are looking for the looking to see how long it is before they get themselves a cocktail.
Yeah.
And we have a link there in our chat for those of you who want to watch Brad Jacobs versus Reed Carruthers in Okotoks. That game is now underway. That link is in the chat on YouTube Curling Zone. But yes, please stay here with us. We like company.
That's right.
You all have 27 devices. You can watch us everywhere.
Yeah. Might roll out here. Oh, might have stopped. Wow.
That's a sneaky shot there.
I think it hit one of the large pebbles out there, I think.
Definitely fresh ice out there. It really depends on the club. I mean, I know as part of a volunteer ice career, we had to make a point to cut down the sidelines a couple times a week.
Yeah.
Because we don't look to dish our ice. We like our ice curling both ways. But if you're not careful, it will happen. So here's Kate Cameron. See the straw broom there. In the tuck delivery. A la Jennifer Jones, inside out. Gets a hit. Nice little roll over into the 8-foot. Well done there.
Yeah, I think when you get out that far, Dave, I'm sure that wouldn't be the case here, but I know certainly I've played in curling clubs over the years that when you're not out there very often, and there are some clubs that outside, that once you start getting in full 12 or even a little bit beyond that, it's very difficult to predict what the stone is going to do out there. Sometimes it'll, just drift back on you, and so I understand teams, I understand players when they say, well, I think it's safer going out inside out on that particular shot. At least at this point, not having had a chance to really see what it does out there. Nobody practices quite that far out.
Yeah, I would think that my general preference is to throw just a little bit firmer than I normally would.
Yeah.
Just take some of that out of the equation. If I don't slide the broom, well, that's my fault.
Yeah. My preference would be to always throw the intern. I don't care where it is on the sheet. I'd rather throw the intern than the outturn.
So Cameron, now with a chance to get that blank.
Yeah, and it was important in the first time when she hit and stuck on this shot, but it's even more important now. It says she's in a very, very good position to be going to the sixth end just down one with the hammer. And she really doesn't want to go to the sixth end tied up without the hammer.
So important shot here from Cameron with her final of the fifth.
Nice solid weight.
Scrubbing this one pretty good. And it's going to be another hit and stick. Missed blank opportunity there. It's going to give Richards the hammer tied in the evens when we return here on Curling Stadium.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be AztecSafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution. Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses? Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at GSOCtickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Timers. And welcome back to the Saville Community Sports Center. It's the Saville Grand Prix. Early action here in pool play. Tied up here between Kate Cameron and Gracelyn Richards. It is Gracelyn Richards throwing the yellow stones. She has hammer here in end number 6. I'm Dave Schmelt, and I'm joined by Jim Gibby, the intern Nix. And we're so happy to have you here on Curling Stadium.
Yeah, big missed opportunity for Kate Cameron's at the last end. She had 2 cracks at blanking now, and both times it ended up nose hitting and staying. And that's a big one for sure. You know, sometimes it's just hard to make yourself maybe put the broom in the exact right place for that shot, because early in the year you're just not quite as finely tuned perhaps as you might be in another month or so, because really that shouldn't be a shot that Kate has much trouble with. And to hit it right on the nose like that, just to me, just maybe indicates just a little lack of confidence that you can take that little extra ice and be sure to get the blank.
So with that all being said, and you hear the term have a goldfish memory if you're a skip.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just to stow it, you go hard steel here if you're Kate.
I certainly think you start the end with that intent. Yes. I would start this end with the feeling that I needed to steal, because it's just too hard to play the game to force to 1 now. So I think you start with the intention that I'm going to go as hard as I can to steal 1. If that changes up a little bit as we go on, and then that so be it. But I'm going to start at least with that in my mind. Because really, if you give up 1 here, you're down 1 playing 7 with, but or even a blank doesn't really help you. So. Yeah, it's a big end to score. If you can never score here, you're in good position.
This one skates quite long.
Yeah.
So advanced team Richards at the moment. We see we have at least 1 final on the ice, and Jim will get you the scores in just a minute. So here's Rachel Jakes. This one will split the rings, and they will lie too. And Jim, why don't we take a look?
Because I don't have it yet.
Well, then we won't.
Sorry. I was just looking it up here, and I'm just it took me to a different spot. Confused me. Just while I'm doing that, though, I will comment there that you'd see a lot of teams, even with hammer here, that might decide to come around that center guard versus go into the wings like that, but not the case here.
Well, it's almost as confusing to me as why do all M&Ms taste the same, even if they're different colors?
I don't have an answer to that. I don't have any answers on anything today, Dave. Okay.
But you maybe have an answer on the other scores now?
Close here. Yeah.
Oh, we're close. We're getting close. That is fantastic. Close is great.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know which game ended, to be honest, but I've got a couple of games at 7-2 here by La Platte and Ollie Half-Ollie were 7-2 for Platte. Just scored 5.
It looks like the game on sheet 4 has concluded.
Sheet 4 is I've got Selena Sturmey up 5-1 with Hammer playing 5. I haven't filled in anything beyond that.
Well, I'm assuming it's a lot.
Yeah. And Taylor Reese is ahead. Taylor Reese Hansen's ahead 7-2 in her game over in sheet 6.
There's sheet 6. I can see it. And a beautiful look across here at the 10-sheet facility that is the Saville Center. Lots of nice curling here. But we're not done on our sheet. All tied up. Richard's currently in line 2. Shot on the way for Team Cameron.
Sneak it by.
Oh, no. Kind of gets lucky to still make contact, and it did clear the yellow out. It's certainly unfortunate. Let's take another look at that, Jimmer.
Yeah, shouldn't come down here. Just try to get by that yellow and make the double. And she's just a little late, maybe getting the brooms on, and just ticks a guard. So close. She sneaks it by there. She probably makes that double.
So you see where the broom is. Just looking to play to the open side.
Yeah, it's a long way to go with that sort of a strategy, to be honest. So I don't know if it's the best thing. But one thing for Gracelyn, though, if she ever gets forced to 1, it's not the end of the world here. But you might get to a point where Kate decides to ignore something and come around to guard, which might not be the best situation for you. So I might be tempted to sneak around that, even sneak around the high guard here. But
yeah, because Kate Cameron's thinking that the math is not in her favor right now.
Yeah.
So feel free to call me stupid. You generally do at least once a weekend. Do you ever just throw a high guard here?
If you're Cameron?
And go in right now.
Well, I think now she has a situation where she can kind of escape a little bit here and hit the red and flop behind the guard, sit 2, and be in a pretty good position.
Yeah, that would put the force on, but you're still going to be in the wrong end of hammer.
Yeah, well, for sure, yeah.
I'm thinking you can change gears here and try to steal it.
Yeah, I think you might have an opportunity to do it by doing this, even though if you can make this and make a halfway roll behind the guard, then what does Gracelyn Richards do? She may just come around. She may play a hit on yours. If she does, then she opens up this draw a little bit is all. I think this yellow rock is a problem for you, and you have a chance to maybe get rid of it. She's going to stay. She needs to stay on this, though, for sure.
She will stay in line 1-2. Very difficult angle to double on, so.
Yeah. Richard's going to play a little hit and flop. She could draw around, too, if she wanted to.
Have to be careful not to end up too deep here.
Yeah.
I think you have to hit this firmer and thicker than you think.
Yeah.
Haven't really laid a brush to it yet. Now we're trying to work it over. I think we're nose at best. Just a hair of a roll.
Yeah, if she rolls another 6-8 inches, pretty good for her, but
This is halfway straightforward. You see her asking for bumper weight. Relatively universal signal in curling.
yeah.
Maybe just a touch warm. On and off. This looks close to good. Get the hit. Tuck it under. Oh, you rolled a little bit too much.
Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit of a sweep call. Brianne indicating to her sweepers. I don't know if she's asking if it was down or she's saying she was down. I don't know which, but definitely gave a signal as if something was down. Richard's going to have a hard time manufacturing 2 here, though.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, for Team Cameron, that was just, it's not even a half miss. It's like more like a quarter miss.
Yeah.
But we could replay that and say that that's a turning point right now.
Yeah, if that rolls a foot less, 1 rock less, then she's in very, very nice position.
That's why this is so much of a team game now. Speaking of team game, you got to be on your horse, or else you're gonna jam. Oh, you wick off the top, so you get away with that.
Yeah, very fortunate. Yeah.
Holy heck, Batman! Let's see that again.
Let's see this go. And it wasn't like they missed any sweep call here. They were going hard all the way and just barely ticks the top one, but not so much to cause a miss. So.
How'd that ever work, Jim?
Well, it's like it's just kind of a shot that you see sometimes, and every now and then it does work for you. You hit it just thin enough.
That's probably one I'm turning around saying sorry.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody does that. I think they do it in some sports. I don't know if anybody's ever going to do it here.
It's like if you're watching tennis and it hits the net cord. The guy always gets a little wave. He never says take the point off the board, does he?
No, sure doesn't.
It's always, oh yeah, sorry, I made that fantastically lucky shot on you.
Close I think I ever saw to that, and it wasn't on that kind of a call. It was in tennis, and I can't remember who was playing. I think it was Sock, and I don't remember his first name, but if you remember, somebody playing against him, he told the other guy to challenge the call because
I did see that.
Yeah, because it was in, it was called out. He's telling me, challenge that. And the guy looked at him like he was crazy, and then finally he challenges it. Sure enough, yeah, that was very cool. I thought I'd never seen that before. I never would see that again, probably. So.
Yeah, that was really a tremendous show of sportsmanship.
Yeah.
Now this one is also curling.
I think she's going to be okay. She's not going to get a roll, but
gets just a hair of a roll. So Jim Nix for 784 Dave Schmel bonus points. These are very valuable, by the way, Jim. You can save them up throughout the season, redeem them later. Do you know what sport the Hawkeye system was originally made for?
Oh.
That's the automatic line calling system,
Yeah.
which is
So obviously it wasn't tennis because
it was not.
That was what it's for now. What sport would have been made for? Just give me 30 seconds.
I'll give you 30 seconds, and then we'll let the chat chime in.
Okay.
Somebody in the chat might know.
And I'd be willing to share my points with the winner in the chat. So.
Oh, these are very valuable.
Yeah.
These are of unspeakable value.
I don't know. I can't come up with a.
All right, Jim's time is up. It's open to everybody else. After this next stone comes to rest, I will share it with you.
Okay.
And this is not one of the Google effects. Like, I actually know this.
Okay.
No, Steve, it's not falconry. Steve Manfred has jokes. On this hit, going to get it past, clear the one in the back. They said shot rock. So the Hawkeye system was originally developed for cricket.
Really?
Yeah, because in cricket, there is a very crucial judgment call the umpire has to make. It's called the LBW, leg by wicket. If the thrown ball was going to strike the batter and then get out the wicket. So Hawkeye was developed to analyze the speed of the ball, the spin of the ball, and the bounce to determine whether it would have hit the wickets in the event that the umpire's ruling was challenged.
Wow. Well, it would have been a long while before I guessed that, because I couldn't. I still, even after you explained it, it still makes no sense to me. So, yeah, I understand cricket a little bit, but I just never would have thought of that system being in play for that. Yeah, very interesting. It's taken over in tennis, basically nothing now. Now they have hardly anything that has any line at the big events that have line judges anymore, whatever they call them.
Yeah, there's no more umpires in tennis other than the chair umpire. This one's gonna hang on. Yes, it's camera line too, so the force is on.
Yeah, and Gracelyn Richard won't be unhappy with this. I thought she could have went just a little bit harder to try to get her deuce in that end, but as I said, starting off this end is big end to score, so she won't be horribly unhappy with taking one here, and trying to force to 1 and 7, or even force to 2 and 7 would be okay. She just has to basically touch the 8-foot somewhere, and she's good. Don't expect her to have too much trouble with that.
So facing 2, Gracelyn Richards, her final stone of end number 6, looking to take the 1 stone lead. Score with hammer in the all-important 6th end. Versus Kate Cameron. She just needs the 8-foot. Pressures are on this one pretty hard.
I'm not sure, Dave. You think?
I think they might be able to get there. You got to get there. If you don't get it there, you can be very upset. But you know what? You're going to be happy because they got there just fine, not without drama. But hang 1 for Richards. She has a 1 stone lead. Cameron has a hammer in 7 when we return from Saville right after this.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos?
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made your way.
My brother, how did... And welcome back here. 7th end action from the Saville Grand Prix. We have learned everything we ever need to know about the Hawkeye system. And what I know right now is Kate Cameron has Hammer trailing by 1-7. So, Jim, are you pushing hard for 2 or 3, or are you trying to steer to a blank?
Yeah, this is probably I think this is the toughest end to call in curling, really. Almost no matter which team you are here. So, I think ideally, obviously, for Cameron, a blank would be lovely. Really hard to manufacture a blank, especially early on. So I think you're going to have to go hard to try to get a couple, and just ignore any possibilities of anything else up until probably the 4th stone, 5th stone of the end to say, okay, well, now what can we do here? Because we definitely don't want to get one, and it's either 2 or more or a blank, but it's really, really hard to do that. While the other side of that, Richards is trying to force to 1 really badly, and she's not going to be horribly upset if she gives up 2 and has Hammer coming home. So, it's interesting. Both teams would probably accept a 2-ender by Cameron here and not be unhappy with it, but it's a tough end. It's really tough to figure it out. I think you've got to go after it, though, if you're Cameron early on here. I think you've got to say, well, we got to get a couple.
And this one sliding to the back 4 basically demands that Richards follows it down, and it did not execute that. So huge break for Team Cameron.
Yeah, it's just a big miss at this point. 7th end of the game. It's you're not expecting it to throw a draw that goes through the house for sure. Never really was close.
I was wondering for just half a second if maybe coming to the back of the rings was a bit of strategery just to make sure that things got mixed up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know.
I do know some skips that would do that, so.
Yeah. This one's not going to be much better, to be honest.
Well, it's cutting in hard now. If it gets the line, it will be fine.
Yeah, it is. I take it back. It did get over there. I didn't think it was going to get far enough over there.
I mean, come on, Jim. You didn't know the Hawkeye was invented for cricket.
Well, I know.
God bless you.
I was trying to find the button. Couldn't find the button, so I was gonna cough there, but
so we're gonna come down and talk about this for a second. You're never killing them both, are you, Jim?
No, I don't think so. Really tough to do.
So if you can't kill them, don't you throw a draw?
I'm thinking I might draw in here as well. Yeah.
So I'll
It's
turn
early
into
enough. Yeah, sorry, Dave. It's early enough that you shouldn't play yourself into too awful much trouble here with playing the draw. They're going to take a timeout and chat about it.
All right, so timeout's been called here.
Yeah, the outturn draw is good. I she doesn't have hammer, so do you want to make a play on those reds? I don't know. I think the draw is a pretty nice shot. Right there is perfect.
Even down to the back one isn't terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, here comes 5th player / coach. I'm not sure which, but must be the coach.
We could read the jacket if Connor would zoom in a little bit. Edmonton.
Edmonton?
Yep.
Okay. Better eyes than I have too, so.
Yeah, I like it right there, just like you do, Jim.
Yeah.
Down to the back one is a good miss. I think they're talking about that right now, too. Only thing, I don't think I ever want to leave this one short.
No, this one you just got to make it. There's not really a good place to leave it. Like if you go too far, it's no good. And if you're depending on how short you are, it might not be horrible. It might not be very good. So
that's why he's the best color commentator working with me right now. He says, "Just make the shot."
yeah, yeah. Well, I don't see a lot good. I do say I would disagree a little bit. I'd rather be short than long. If I'm going to have to miss it, I'm going to rather be short than long. But
yeah, I mean, by long I don't mean through the rings. I mean down to the back one.
oh, that'd be all right. That's kind of almost what they want, anyways. They're not right now. I think they would take either one. I think they'd take it a little higher than that, or right on top of it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be bad. I would probably want to be right on top of it anyway.
Absolutely, through the rings is obviously absolutely terrible.
So it's on its way.
Shot on the way from Rorschach. Plenty of room past everything. This is all about weight. The line is fantastic. Just manage that weight. Get it right on down there and weld it. Nicely thrown stone.
Yeah, just a really nice stone all the way around. Nice call, nice sweep, nice throw. So
Zero hesitation from Kate Cameron here. McDonald on the high guard.
yeah, I'm not surprised by this actually. I think that it's yeah, you could throw the guard up there again, but there's a possibility. There would have been a possibility in that shot that Kate could make the double with the red on the yellow and save the shooter. Could be sitting 2 if you just leave that. So I think you got to play this one. Roll over to the right hand side as we look at it on the long view there, and try to force the 1 here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Jim. I agree with you. It's really tough to give up 3 if there's only 1 in the rings.
It's got to curl a lot though.
I'm gonna pick it, but Cameron might be able to work back to the blank now.
Yeah.
I think that's what you got to do, buddy.
I think you do too. There's not, yeah, absolutely. You hit it on the nose. Gracelyn's gonna keep hitting, so you should have another crack at a blank.
Okay, so our Curly Village is telling me it's Rye Horchuk. So I apologize. If I said that right, Mary, just give me a thumbs up or a little smiley face. We certainly never try to get something wrong. We do our best to try to research these things the best we can beforehand, but without actually knowing, well, we don't know. So let me give it one more. Rye Horchuk. Let me know if that sounded good. As we go up and down now, looks like the blank is possibly in order.
Yeah, it's too bad for the Richards team. They made that nice draw to set up a potential force, and then just proceed to miss the next shot. Let them off the hook. So now they're going to be forced with probably having Cameron blank this end or trying to blank this end. Well, just barely got that out.
Okay. I got that one right. I got the thumbs up from Mary. Thank you, Mary, for the assist on the pronunciation. Rye Horchuk. That's how we say it.
Yeah. I have to remember that one.
It certainly won't be the first time this season we use that name, so.
No. Well, it might be the first time. Won't be the only time.
Yeah. Listen what I mean, not what I say, Jim.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
It's not all about accuracy.
No. Anyway, I think you did a pretty good job with it. Most of them, I think you nailed it.
We try. I mean, we really do. There's different pronunciation engine machines that we can use that actually try to look at a name and derive its family lineage and try to derive it, but it's still always a guess because, heck, I mean, our colleague and the lead here, Rachel Jakes. First time I said it, I saw a QUE. I want to say Jacks.
Yeah. Well, I did too. Even Ryan. I would have said I was singing Jacques or something. Yeah. I never considered Jakes at all as the option for saying that.
And then I was, I was informed, and I don't make that mistake anymore.
No.
And is that our old buddy behind the glass?
I don't know. Did catch it, but it's we've had a lot of help from the chat on a lot of names over the last couple of years too, which is a bonus. So thanks to everybody that helps out on that.
Oh yeah, I mean it's certainly not easy. I thought for a second I saw Ryan behind the glass, but it's not him. If so, he changed both hair color and glasses. That's right, hair color, just needs glasses.
So looking very much like Kate's going to get her third crack at blanking an end here, and this is going to be a one that she definitely wants to make. Still one shot away from that, but shouldn't have much trouble with the next shot at all.
This one just a touch spicy. Do you ever get cute here and freeze to it?
No.
Okay. I just set you up to Cheryl Bernard me right there, so I knew it. Well. Oh no, Vic. Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, you just can't afford it. You got to have a nice easy shot on your last one for the blank the end and go from there.
Have they been easy?
No, they haven't. But it's third time lucky is what I figure. So, or third time's the charm, whatever you call it. This freeze just never, very rarely, ends up being a shot that the person can't remove. So that's why you don't play the freeze. If it was a little more difficult the old days, it might have been a little more difficult, but not so much anymore. So good throw by Kate.
Hidden stick made. Now I imagine you want to leave it right there so you have to roll as far as possible, right?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah. Ironically, if you're talking about the shot you were just suggesting for Kate, Richards is in a position where she could think about playing a freeze on this shot, because its rock is just behind the tee line. If she made it really good, it might make really tough for Kate Cameron to score too. So you could actually think about it probably more. I'd be more inclined for her to be thinking about the freeze than for Kate to be thinking about the freeze. So. But she's not anyway. She's just hitting, which is 99 times out of 100 people.
So final from Richards, and
big.
This
big
is gonna spill out. So this is gonna make this one a foregone conclusion. And barring an act of parliament, we're gonna have a blank end.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt because it's she's seen Kate twice not make this shot. And as confident as Kate probably is in her own abilities, I would think that she might just have a wee tiny little bit sense of relief seeing that one roll out and knowing she doesn't actually have to lengthy end by hitting and rolling out.
So Cameron pitches it through. She'll have the hammer down 1, coming home an 8. We'll be right back from Saville after this.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
And welcome back. It's the 8th end of play here from the Saville Community Sports Center here in Edmonton, Alberta. Dave Schmel, joined by Jim Nix and Connor Sims, holding down the production end. We're happy they're joining us here this evening on Curling Stadium. Huge blank for Kate Cameron and number 7 there, Jim.
Yeah, massive blank, and I have to believe that Kate had a little sense of relief there when Gracelyn's last shot rolled out, because she has, like it or not, she's had a couple of struggles with those blanks. She's hit and stayed twice, so she probably felt a little bit better about that, and in a good position now. But you know what? For 3 ends, we basically followed the same strategy here. It just depends on which team we're talking about. And now Gracelyn Richards in a position without hammer, up 1 admittedly, but up hammer. She really has to go hard here to attempt to steal or force the issue. And so I expect to see her be very aggressive this end as well.
This needs to hit the brakes.
Oh no, Team Cameron. We've seen a few of those in this game that just don't make sense. And I know it's early in the year, but just
it's downhill that way at Saville. Don't you know that?
Well, no, I didn't know that at all.
No, neither do I. It just sounded good.
Yeah. Played in rinks like that though over the years, no question.
We think it's just a scudge faster coming home at our club, but it would require a lot of people better than me throwing stones to actually document that.
Needs to make contact here.
Made contact. They're going to pick it out, roll all the way out.
Another chance to throw the corner up.
So definitely have to make this one.
Absolutely.
And if not, oh boy. I think I don't even want to talk about such things.
No, she'll be fine on this one.
Well, as my coach Wayne Anderson would say, you made a positive adjustment.
Yeah.
You knew it had to be lighter. It was lighter. You probably didn't want that much lighter, but you made the appropriate adjustment. So stone away from Sophia. Nice center guard there by Rahorchuk. Yes, I was bold enough to try that again.
Yep. I think I always look at this. I always wonder, and I know that people approach it differently. I don't think you're going to hit anything. And I think you're going to go around that corner.
I think as long as you know your 1 is still there, you're playing hard for 2.
Yeah. So she's coming around the center guard. I just figure this is an area that Richards is going to want to play around that same center guard. So,
Oh, for sure.
looks like this is going to be probably a little light. Well, if you're Cameron now, you've got a corner guard and another one that's sort of pretty close to being a corner guard. So not a bad setup, despite the fact there's going to be another yellow one in there. There's worry about those ones after.
So her second. This looks very light. Does not get past the guard. I feel like Cameron's got to come under it now somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she's going to probably move something here.
To me, if you move something, you're probably saying you're playing for 1 and an extra.
Well, I don't know. If you can get... The problem is what happens with the red one here. Like, you can get rid of 1 for sure, obviously, and you can get rid of... Might get rid of 2, but it's going to be pretty dicey.
And I concur with this 100%. There's a time to talk about it. It's now.
Yeah, so you look at this here. If you hit that kind of in the crotch, it's going to jam on the red and hang around there. I just think she's got enough rocks to work with here that these yellows are a concern. Like, it won't take much for Gracelyn Richards to move one of those up 2 or 3 feet or 4 feet and make it really hard on you to score. So
Yeah, well, it's kind of like the setup we had in the second end where almost like, as I kind of mentioned, the old school way of not having hammer.
Yeah.
2 rocks there in the control zone. It's not something that we talk about very often anymore because it's just not the way the game's played.
Yeah.
But you see how, well, it just messes with all the cooking when those stones are there.
Yeah, I think she's going to try to remove the yellow one that's on her right first and hit like about probably 3/4 to 7/8 of it, so it doesn't do any damage on her one that's just short of the 12-foot there, the red one, and then see if she can get it to kick a little bit, maybe, and move the other yellow over some. Just improve it, just change it up and improve that situation a little bit is all. It's just too much for Gracelyn Richards to work with there right now.
I think I hope not to get unlucky and spin it into the rings. That could
I know that
certainly happen.
Yeah.
Well, they picked this one up right out of her hand. It is very high on it. Make contact with them both, and that's about as good as he could have done, I think.
Yeah, I think that was a tremendous shot, actually. It's still possibly advantage Richards a little bit here for sure, but I think Kate had to move those stones to give herself a realistic shot here. She now at least has the situation's changed around. The rocks aren't quite in the same place, but basically the 2 rocks that are really usable and workable are hers now. So, I like that a lot better. If I'm the Cameron team, I feel a little bit much better about our potential to score 2 here.
Yeah, just about the best you could have done.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So you see they're going to throw the draw around the intern here. Through the port appears to be the call.
Yeah, this should be good.
It's going to walk over just enough. There it goes. Right there. It takes a break. Now you get it under. Deep as he can is pretty good to biting the top 4.
Yeah, nice shot.
Just try to stuff it, Jim. Maybe stuff
Yeah.
it with a little roll.
Yeah. Yeah, Brienne is, I'm sure she would agree, not had her best game she ever has. So this would be a good chance for her to kind of make up for a little bit of that, make a good one here, and has a potential to set up the winning deuce, no question.
So Brienne Harris with her first of the 8th.
In the neighborhood, I think. Great shot.
Oh boy. Very nice. I hope Connor had a quarter left, and yes, he did.
Yeah, you see this. It's not, it had to go pretty much right out of her hand to hold it where it was, but it was perfect line all the way down, and really made it as good as you could possibly make it. Got rid of both yellows, left yourself right behind the guard, fully buried. So great shot.
You could not have walked that down better, Jim.
Yeah. So Richards now is going to basically try to play pretty much a similar shot, trying to make the run back double, both red on red, which is never easy. You'd much rather it be your own rock on the red. This one may not going to curl enough, I don't think.
It's only going to get the top one, so here he goes, swinging to Team Cameron.
Yeah, by a bunch here, I think.
So you see, you saw the thoughts in her head there, so don't know if I'm in love with that.
I don't think they will be in love with this by the time they finish talking about this either. Yeah.
Timeout's been called.
Yeah.
I feel like you had to split the rings somehow here.
Yeah, you're doing something like that. You're coming around the 2 corners on the right, the red, yellow on the right as we look at it, or on the left now as we look at it, or you're splitting that rock, which is never my favorite shot, but sometimes it's a necessary shot. If you ever made it, it's perfect, no question. Don't leave a double. But at the same time, it might be a necessary evil here because that rock is just in a tough spot to do anything with. Otherwise, you have to ignore it and come around the corners. And so it looks like they're going to consider playing a split here anyways. So this is like a backline shot, so you have to make contact for sure.
Jim, I'm with you. This is about my least favorite shot.
Yeah.
I like drawing around those side guards,
Yeah.
even to the back of the rings.
Yep. Yep.
I really kind of like back 8. I don't think you do yourself much hurt there.
No, I don't think you do either. Just get it away from a double.
And frankly, it's a really easy shot to make compared to this.
Yeah.
This is fantastic if you make it.
Yeah, it is. It really is. The risk reward thing here would be really big, and it does carry some risk, but the reward is pretty nice.
So Brienne Harris needs a good one here with her last of the 8th. Playing for the little split ski, looking to julienne that rock just like a carrot.
Looks like it's going to be awful close to the nose.
comes across the face. How much roll do they get? Get the one under cover, the other one edge on edge. Pretty darn good, Jimmer.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's pretty good. I just not excited about where the other one ended up. That was the problem with this shot. It was just going to be really hard to get both rocks in this perfect spot. But that one actually could have curled a little tiny bit more, would have been good. But then the back one doesn't go so far. So the back one very gettable, no question. But
the
looking
back
at the
one's
really
gettable.
thin double.
Oh dear Lord, that's tough. And if you ever wreck on the top, I mean, the game's over.
Yeah, I don't. That's really hard. Looking at playing the back one, seeing if she can make a hit and roll across.
I mean, the redirect, that's Al Heckner-esque double.
Yeah. So with the amount of time this team has taken to call this shot and the difficulty that they're having trying to figure it out tells you that the previous shot obviously was pretty darn good. Brian will be much happier with her results in this end. She had a really nice shot on her first one and a pretty darn good shot right there as well. The rest of the squad coming down to talk about it.
I don't mind coming down the one of the 4 foot.
I don't either. I don't know. You know, I don't know if I love it, but I'm thinking that might be the shot.
That shot by Team Cameron was very, very good, and we were giving them a little bit of guff for calling that high degree of difficulty shot, but they made it basically as well as they possibly could have.
Yeah. The thing about playing this back one is that you might make it and be in a really good position. And if you don't quite get over there, you might have a little better opportunity on your next one anyway, because right now it's really tough to do anything. That rock is good enough that you can't come around the corners and be shot. You can't really freeze to it because freezes are so hard to get good results.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to kill it and roll under a touch, because there is room to be shot rock under.
Yeah, if they don't go too far, yeah. This is a odd-looking amount of ice here, so I'm not quite sure exactly what they're playing, to be honest. I don't know what turn. I'm thinking they're throwing she's throwing the out turn at it, so she's assuming this rock is either going to go dead straight or actually back up a little tiny bit.
That's the way we thought it tracked just a touch.
Yeah.
Brushers aren't really panicked. Now on it just a touch. They got the rock. They're going to hit it. Oh, you don't ever want to lose it. Really had to be shot rock there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she had to have a little bit of ice. She just had a negative ice almost for that shot. And
that would track based on what we've seen going this direction.
I still don't mind it. I really think that rock had to move. Now, at least, I feel like now you have a better opportunity, no matter what Kate does, to maybe get shot rock at least. You can come around those reds on the in-turn if you have to and be shot rock.
Well, no matter what Kate Cameron does, you're going to be able to put a tough shot back to her.
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Because if she throws it right there, you could chase it, but then she's going to have a draw. Or, I don't know if you like this, Jim, but I don't mind playing down and corner freeze in the red if you can get there.
The red and the 8-foot?
Yeah.
And if you do that...
How's Kate getting to?
Well, they should already be one, right?
They'll be... they have to come all the way around the other side. Okay.
Yeah.
You're smarter than me.
Well, no, I don't know that, but it's I just think that I don't know where she's going to put this rock, but if the situation was like this when Gracelyn goes to throw, if she corner freezes that red, then Kate has basically the whole 4-foot plus to draw to. So I don't think that would work.
Could you? Well, I know we don't like playing the wrong color in, but you can run the red guard in and kill both reds.
You could.
You're not losing if you make that.
No, I agree. I think you're going to draw around on. I think I'm drawing around on the intern if Kate goes too far to the right here, or right now.
Yeah, because we know where Kate's going. She's been going there all day.
Yeah.
They talked about it, but that was just for show.
Yeah. Yeah. So if she goes around and buries in here and you can't do anything with it, assuming she doesn't go too deep and doesn't leave you a chance to freeze to something, then I think you swoop around on the intern side and get shot rock and give her a pretty hard shot. You got to make it, but you got to make whatever you throw now. So
No, I don't mind that, Jim.
yeah.
But this one has to be made first.
Well, for sure. Yeah, and you definitely, you don't want to just throw this down and slide just 3 inches behind the tee line and it's disaster. So
Yeah, all kinds of bad happens if that happens. So Kate Cameron with her first of 2 and then number 8. On and off, they seem to be relatively happy. Plenty of room past everything. This is all about the weight now. You're past everything. Now carve it and bury it. You just got past the guard. Oh, dear. Is there a double there? I don't think so, but
flat, I think.
yeah. All right, Jim. What's the best bad option?
I think it's around that rock, right about where her broom is. Just depending on which way you want to go to get there. I don't know for sure. I don't know if there's enough room on the outturn to make that shot. Probably is, but just barely, because you got to go by that high guard on the Explore Edmonton logo there.
Yeah, so
much easier to go intern.
Right. So throw intern side, and if we look at the long shot, basically behind that, in front of that red Tupperware container that's in the backboards to make the angle stuff.
Yeah, so it took me a minute to find it. This is like doing a puzzle. Yeah, right there, Dave. That red Tupperware container would be absolutely perfect, yeah. She's going to go out turn, which is a bit surprising, although she probably feels like she has a better idea on ice going this way.
Yeah, it seems tough to me, but once he's, as you said,
it's a little tougher, yeah.
Going out the other way, you will be going out into the hinterlands.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's probably what's driving her to go to this turn, to be honest, because it certainly does look like a much easier shot on the intern in a few ways.
So it's been a really close nip and tuck game, and really coming down to this shot right here, Jimmer.
Yeah, it's a big one, absolutely a big one. I mean, you're obviously, if you don't make this, your game's over. So if you don't make it well, the game's almost over. But I think that if she can get this 3/4 buried, would be very, very good. It can go back a little bit further than, you don't really care about the tee line at this point, more about getting it to where she's going to have difficulty removing it.
Yeah, tee line means absolutely nothing. I'd prefer to be a little deep.
Yeah, you're okay with her having yours to draw for backing if you have to. This doesn't really matter. This one's got a curl, but roll.
So final stone of the 8th for Gracelyn Richards. This is checking up really, really hard. Oh, you gotta be at least second stone. And you're just that.
Yeah.
But it leaves, well, as close to a layup as you're ever going to have in curling.
Yeah, they've done a great job in this game sweeping that one there. They just were just a little tentative maybe early on. But I'll tell you what, it's not a gimme now for Kate. She's, I think, I don't know which way she's going to do this. You could hit that, obviously, and get your 2 pretty easily, but you might just decide to just draw, take a little tiny bit more ice than you took the last time, and just draw the edge of the forefoot on that side. That would seem like
Well,
safe.
you never lose if you draw.
Yeah.
But we are going to hit.
Yeah, I would generally consider her reputation being that of a hitter, and so I'm not shocked by this shot at all. But
no, as would I, and probably a shot I'd call for myself.
The nice thing, she's got a couple things can happen. She can hit it a little tiny bit too thick, and it takes her red one out in the left, but the yellow goes, and her shooter stays over here by the other red one, so she's fine there. You know, if she hits it right on the nose, obviously it's gone. Haven't got a lot of room to hit it on the low side, basically on the overcurl, if you will. She hasn't got a lot of room before she hits the guard, so
Took just a whisker more.
Yeah.
Do all the housekeeping here, make sure everything is happy. So, Kate Cameron for the win. Final stone of the 8th. Sets it out. Nice, clean delivery.
Yeah,
Brusher's not laying anything on it. Just keep it clean. Down there, no problem. 1, 2, and 3. And it's a win for Kate Cameron by a score of 6-4 over Gracelyn Richards. And Jim, and it's back and forth there. And Cameron, has to feel, I would say, just a touch lucky to walk off of this one with a win.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you hear it all the time, but that game could have definitely went either way. There were a couple opportunities both teams had that they didn't take advantage of, a couple that they did. So, you know, the nice thing for Kate and her team is that she threw that last rock probably better than any rock she threw the whole game. So I really liked the way she threw that shot and how they managed that. She moves to 2-0 now, which puts her in a good spot to looking ahead to get into the playoffs, and tough slugging for Team Richards now.
No, it's certainly completely agree. And that is going to wrap up our coverage from the Saville Community Sports Center for this evening. Please join us tomorrow, where we will be online at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, 11 o'clock in the East. We will have Caitlin Laws against Nancy Martin, and Skurlik versus Sturmey at 9 o'clock. Please join us right here on Curling Stadium all weekend. So from the Saville Community Sports Center, for Jim Nix, Connor Sims in the production, my name is Dave Schmel. Thank you so much for joining us. Good evening.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at GSOCtickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.